Hey guys, it's Christian. I am going to be showing you a song that is in the works right now. I'm going to be going through how I arranged it and how I'm going to write it lyrically, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to go into my DAW and take a look at the project. So let's just start out by listening to some of the track, and I will go through some of the sounds as we go along. So at first it just starts out with basic drums and a bass, some sound effects in the background. Now most of these sound effects are coming from a sample pack I got from Samplified. It's called Future Sessions, I believe, and it just had some really cool sounds to use that I used in this song that really gave it a futuristic vibe, not just the typical hip-hop vibe. So that's most of the sound effects. I repeat those throughout the song. As you can see in this general region, that is most of my sound effect work right there. And let us get into the drums after this chorus bit right here. Have a second bass, playing the bass line, but I cut out all the low end, and I'm changing the cutoff filter so that it sort of pops out at you. So for the drums, it's pretty simple. And then I just have this very, very basic hi-hat loop that just stutters on a few steps, gives it a little bit of rhythm, something that you can really latch onto for the rest of the song. Then the rest of the drums, just a simple kick and snare, but then I added some percussion elements in between each of those. Now as we get into this verse 2 section, I'm going to unsolo everything. Have this slide synth, I called it, which is really sliding up into every single note as it starts. So it's sort of got like this little dip and then it comes back up. And I also added this little effect here that is almost imperceptible if you listen carefully. It pitches down after that third hit. And this is just an effect that I used to sort of spice up the emptiness. I wanted to keep that space empty from melodic elements, but I still wanted something cool to happen there. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I also have two more harmonic melodic instruments coming in. Have a simple piano, which is just mirroring what the slide synth was doing. And then I have bells to go along with it, and this gives the track the nice high end. So then all that together goes like this. Then I come back in. And then at this point here, if I play from here, you hear everything's normal and then a few things cut out. So then I'm only going with the melodic elements, the slide synth, the piano, and the bells. So that's what this sounds like, going from the beat to cutting everything out. So there's a lot going on right after the break, because I wanted to sort of cut out of just this same rhythm and really throw off the listener almost. Cut it out. Bring in just the melodic elements, which are just being introduced, and then when they come back in, when the drums come back in, the bass comes back in, it's sort of like an explosion of sound back at it. So that keeps some dynamics that wouldn't be there if I just kept everything in a 4-bar loop. So that was the hyped up portion, I'd say. Then we go into this more laid back version. The chant effects drop out, the drums drop out. And it's really, the bass is the big show here, with the cutoff on the low pass filter, or the high pass filter, sorry. And then we go back into things with the same verse pattern in the beginning, same chorus pattern, same verse pattern. So the song is pretty much just split into 2 parts. Haven't changed much in between the parts, partially because this is supposed to be a rap beat. So you sort of want a similar structure as it goes on, so you could have another verse, or so on and so forth. So I am going to do some lyric work on this, and here's a little montage of me writing the lyrics, and I'll be right back with you to discuss how I'm about to record that. We're going to find a good spot to write some lyrics. See what I find. Just finished writing the hook. It was pretty simple. It comes in the very beginning of the track, and what I'm trying to do here is take the theme that I've just written down and use that for the rest of the song. So we'll see. I'm thinking this was the hook where I'm sort of singing it, and then it's going to turn into a rap for most of the verses. See how it goes. Catch you later once I have more done. Well, I got some lyrics done. I'm gonna keep working until verse 1 is done. We're good so far. You're probably tired of verse updates by now, but I finished verse 1, finished verse 2, all the writing is done. Now it's on to the recording stage. So, let's get to it. So guys, I just recorded my vocals. I have a hook part and a rap part. 2 verses, and I think it turned out pretty well. We are going to listen to it together, and I'm going to commentate on some of the lyrics. And this is by far just a rough draft, but hopefully I'll take this song and polish it up, and you will hear it be released later on. Sounding nice and pretty. So, let us take a listen to what is going on here.
All these years, you've been right here.
So I went for a sort of laid back sound in the very beginning. The hook, which comes in later too, sort of more calm, leading up to the storm.
That you are the time thief. I I find it hard to comprehend the elusive, abusive, my heart spent thinking of all that you have done. You had me trapped and all I did was run, fight or flight, and my fear took over me. Took off cause I knew you were chasing me. These legs can't run for long, so I guess I had to stop, but I was wrong. Something that fierce, you don't bargain. Target on my back, I won't be pardoned for all that I did to upset the beast. Taken captive and I won't be released, so extracted a price, well that's right. I get my freedom, you get my life. Well that doesn't sound very fair, does it? Play by the rules and I might think of it. Until that moment you're out of luck. I'll do everything in power to escape this muck. Lock me up further and I'll just break out till every stone in this tower falls down. Your puny guards will just run and stumble. Hold on, are you ready to rumble? Cause I am, this isn't a joke. Are you bankrupt cause you're about to go broke? Time's up, I think you failed again. Take a taste of your own medicine. Your power's turned against you. I wouldn't trust as it can't protect you. Now you got no one to turn to. The clock ticks but it only burns you. Time thief, got time stolen. That's ironic but you have my condolence.
So that was the first verse. Just a few things I want to comment on. In the very end of the hook I say, cause you are, or that you are the time thief. So then this verse is sort of like going over what the time thief did to me and why I'm running away, how I was trapped, how I am going to break out. So it's the victim to victory story. Just made that up right now. But yeah, that's that verse. I put a few effects on my voice, as you can definitely hear. But this is just a rough draft. But I sort of like the style that's going on right now. It's got a really gritty tone to it, which works well with the beat behind it. So then we go back into the hook, and we'll go on to verse 2 in just a second. Just one other thing I want to say. In this little break here that I was talking about earlier,
Time's up, I think you failed again. Take a taste of
where it's just melodic elements, no drums, not even bass, no chants, no anything. I wanted to use that space wisely, I guess. So for this line, let's listen to it again.
Time's up, I think you failed again. Take a taste of your...
I'm saying that time has left the time thief, so to speak. And then I say, take a taste of your own medicine. And as I say own, the track comes back in. So let's just play that for a second here.
Time's up, I think you failed again. Take a taste of your own medicine. Your power's turned against you. I wouldn't trust as it can't protect you.
You can hear time's up, and then time turned against the time thief. So I wanted to end that on a higher note, like victim to victory story again. Alright, so then we go through the hook again. I will not make you suffer through that any longer. Let us go to verse 2. The beginning of verse 2 is very different in style, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but let's just listen.
You take me on a fantasy ride, it's just a drive, but I sense something else. Oh Lord, send me help, I fear for my life, something ain't right. If something feels wrong, I better think twice.
So that part right there, it's like a call and response sort of, but the call is long, the response is just one word, so it's just whatever the word was before it, it repeats that. But it really works well when you finally sort of understand what's going on in the last line, right here.
I better think twice.
I better think twice. So that was just a fun little thing I played with. And then when I recorded it, I just took the same exact vocals, slapped them down, shifted them to the side by half a measure, I think.
You may try that mind control. Yeah, I've seen it all before. One mind hijacking, soft stacks, all mean is gone, there's no coming back. Lifestyle starts as a vicious cycle. Use a pain while you're chasing a title. With all the search for the world to gain, everybody's missing the higher aim.
So now this part of the verse goes into what the time thief does to others, not just to me, and how it's dangerous and how it can destroy your life. So I went into that in this first part of the verse, and I keep going with that for a little while.
If you put all of your focus on gain, you'll only understand the world's all game. Try and be different than everyone else. Reach out and help, don't live for yourself.
Then I switch it back onto the listener, you guys, and I sort of call them out and say, if you're living like this, you should change. Here's why. And here's all the things that it'll do for you. Here's the things that won't go wrong because you're not following the time thief. Just interesting little switch there from the beginning, which was very different in style, to the middle, which was talking about what the time thief can do, to now fighting back against that.
You must be crazy, different than everyone. I always see everyone follow everyone. Maybe it's time to live by a new standard, when all that you see is a world that is standard. It might be time to rethink your own movement, when most of the world goes and follows the music. Don't listen to all of the lies of the time thief, unless you want to know regret and feel grief. That word is just an excuse for the lazy. Stand up and fight, don't wait for the energy. I want to see you go aim for the enemy. There is no time, be who you were meant to be. No.
Again, I use this little break right here to create a line where you really pretty much hear all the words. I might even boost the volume of the vocal track in the final to fill that space, but it's like a main point of this part of the verse where I'm saying, break away from society's standards of being like everyone else and always thinking about yourself, and for once think of others and be different. So that highlights this line right here.
It might be time to rethink your own movement, when most of the world goes and follows the music.
It might be time to rethink your own movement when the rest of the world goes and follows the music. Just don't march to the same beat as the world. That's it. And it works really well because of that break, and then when everything comes back in, it's nice and strong.
Follows the music, don't listen to all of the lies of the time thief, unless you want to know regret and feel grief.
Then I go on a rant of what the time thief will do to you. Don't follow the time thief. And then for the outro, I just have half of the hook because I wanted to end quicker. I feel like if I put the whole hook in, it would just drag on too long and we'd be done with it. So I want to end just on a strong note, so I just have it a little, I have half of it, the second half.
There is no time, be who you were meant to be. Now that I can see it clear, I realize that you are the time thief.
Then it just ends like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was probably a little long, but that's okay because it's going over my whole, pretty much how I created everything in this song. Of course I have some work to do, but this is all of the composition done. I will just switch up some things in the beat to work better with the vocals, but that's it. So when you hear this next, it will be coming out as one of my official releases. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. I hope you have a wonderful day, and there will be a list of plenty of other videos that you could check out after this one. Thank you.